What's up, everybody? Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. I am joined by Logan Rosenstein, the community manager at 505 Games. And Logan, we are checking out a game that I'm going to sensationalize and call it possibly the next Minecraft. Is that fair?
Oh, I don't want to jump guns. That's a pretty good comparison, but basically it's similar to Minecraft in many ways.
Yes,
so.
you gave us a tutorial video, which you can also watch if you haven't checked it out already. But right now we're going to load up a sort of a higher level area that you've already created that we can jump into and really see the game sort of firing on all cylinders.
Correct. So basically, when you start out the game, you can go in here and create different types of characters. And what I wanted to show real quick was this is the main character that I'm using right now, and we're going to use it in this game that I saved.
Okay.
Here you can create different characters. It just shows you've got tons of different hair types and the colors. You can do eye color, skin color, all that kind of stuff. So the characters are very customizable. So when we jump in here to my character, these are the different worlds that I've created. So we're going to jump into a Brave New World. That's the main one that I have.
So can you save 8 worlds at the max?
That's actually a good question. I'm not too sure. This is still the beta version.
Fair enough.
So once we figure that out, we'll post it for you. Here, it gives you the options for when you're playing online multiplayer. You can play online. You can do invite only. Those are specific features. Those are checkboxes. So since it's just us, we're just going to load the game.
Cool. And in the multiplayer mode, you were telling me earlier off mic, so it's you can set it up as a PvP thing and fight your friends, but you can also, like Minecraft again, you can do it cooperatively and just build the world together, right?
Correct. The multiplayer is up to the host. So basically, the host creates a world and invites his friends to come play. So when your friends come in, you can decide to go to combat or build a giant environment. We've had people create entire worlds, so it's up to the player itself. It's very customizable.
So what we're looking at here, did you make all of this, what we're seeing on the screen right now?
Yes, so basically when you start the game, you're dropped into a world with nothing. They give you a pickaxe, a wood axe, a little short sword, and you build a shelter. That's one of your first goals. Mm-hmm. You need the shelter for survival, of course, because at night things come bumping. So here I've created a rather large house, but like I've said in the PC version, some people will go amazingly huge. They've built entire
palaces.
huge palaces, tons of different decorations and structures, and it's pretty impressive. So here I've got just different types of tools. I've got anvils, I've got forges, I've got some a smith. Different ways to build different items.
A pet rabbit.
Exactly. Well, there's a wild bunny there. This one
wild bunny.
I haven't
okay.
quite taken him as a pet. I'm not big on followers.
Tell me, so how this world that we've jumped into that's clearly farther along, how long have you spent on this? How far into this are we loading up?
I've spent several hours
okay.
playing the game. Basically, you can build a standard structure very quickly. Mm-hmm. The standard structure for survival, it's you need just walls and doors and torches and a chair and a table basically for it to be considered a house. And here what I've done is I've used wood walls. I've got some wood backing there and some stone over here. Up here I've got different types of characters that are here with me. This guy Eugene, he's a merchant. He's going to sell me some different items. I've got Gimli, and I've got guys that sell me different items. I've got weapons, demolitions. I've got different types of armor and clothing. And then here Hannah, she'll heal me if I'm wounded. So I've created them individual rooms, and it doesn't take too long to build them rooms. I can build one of those rooms now in 2 minutes.
Right.
So it's once you gather the materials, that's the big part. Okay. You gather the materials, you build the basics, and then from the basics you expand. And so this is my standard house. I've also built an underground garden that I use, to grow some flowers and different types of plants. And you can use those plants to craft certain potions and to further your character, because you need certain potions. You can see on my inventory bar up here, I've got something called Shine Potion. And Shine Potion I use when I go underground because it makes my character glow, so I don't have to use so many torches. So there's tons of different potions.
And how did you craft Shine Potion, for instance?
That's a good question. Let me show you up here up in the crafting, because that's part of the new features. Is in the PC version, if you needed to know the ingredients, you most likely went to the wiki.
Right.
Here we try to put as much as we can in the game, so you don't have to go to your computer or do anything like that. So we're going to go up here to my crafting table, and I'm just going to press Y. And you can see it at the bottom of the screen there. There's a Y for inventory, right trigger for action, B for use. We added that just to give you an idea of where you go. So I can go over here, or let's see, there should be a crafting one, I believe.
Your house is so awesome. You don't even know where everything is.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I've got my chest here. I've got the crafting items. I've got my little bed up here. It was around the holidays when I was building this room, so I put some Christmas lights up, you can see. Let's see. So here at the crafting table, I can go to inventory, and then I can go over here to crafting. There's different tabs here, which I can see on the bottom. I can use the triggers to navigate.
Right.
I'm going to go over here to the potions. And so based on the different potions and different inventories I have, it's going to tell me on the right there what I use as ingredients. So what I have, the numbers in white, what I don't have, the numbers in red. So it's telling me I need to go find these. And in this case, for this specific item, the lesser mana potion, I need to go find a bottle. So I didn't have the shine potion there, but you can see how that's typically generated. Let's see. So what we're going to do now is I'll show you. I've got some bunnies building up on the back door. I'll leave them. They're pretty nice. So I'm going to close the door. You can see right here I'm using automatic control. The biggest focus that we had when we were developing the game was the control schemes. We've got this automatic mode where you basically point with your left stick that in the direction that you want to go, and that white circle is going to show you. This is very important for digging. For me, it makes digging a lot easier. You point in a general direction. The automatic controls basically select the appropriate cells that you want to mine. You can turn it off. So basically, I'm going to push in on the stick, and that puts you into this manual mode. So I can select individual specific boxes that I want to do. So what we can do is we're going to run over here. And I put some signs here just as a reminder. This is the way down to hell. And we can go down to hell, and I'll show you. It's one of the environments that you can go to. You go all the way down to the bottom of the map, and it's filled with lava and
bad things,
enemies that throw fire at you, and it's a very interesting environment. And so we're basically in the forest here. You can go down underground, and you can see these different things.
Well, this kind of raises an interesting point. Minecraft is basically totally a free-form sandbox. There is no story. There's no end game. Is that the case here as well? Is there a story, or what is sort of what are we doing in
It's
Terraria?
similar in respect because it's very open. It's a sandbox game. There's no set campaign per se, but what it is there are end bosses. There's armors that you want to achieve by building your character. So as you progress, you improve your character, and you can choose to face certain bosses at certain moments by going to the environment that boss is in. So one of the goals that you have as a player is you can decide whether you want to build a giant fortress or if you want to just build your character so that you can fight those end bosses. And as you defeat certain bosses, it spawns certain bonus material. So there's environments that come about based on the progression of how you kill those bosses. So it's up to the user to decide whether or not they want to progress in certain ways.
So in sort of classic SimCity sense, you could just play this until the end of time, or really it only ends when you just get bored of your world and want to make a new one. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. Basically, you can mine every single piece of dirt in this entire world.
Now, have there been people at the development team that I've got to imagine there's some sort of finite limit to the size of the world? Is that your only limitation?
When you select the game, when you create a new world, there's 3 different sizes. You can do small, medium, or large.
Okay.
The large is very large. And this, basically, just to give you a clue, is small. And what I'm going to do now is kind of show you the extent of that. One of the features we put in is we put in a map feature. So if you don't know where you are, if you're playing multiplayer and you don't know where your friends are, you can check it. So I'm just going to press select, and it's going to load a map here.
Oh, my goodness.
So basically, right here, we're going to zoom in.
This is small.
Yeah, this is the small world. So that
not
is
the medium,
my house.
not the large. This is
correct.
This is
the small. So this is my house. You can see my underground garden there, and you can see all the different characters that I have living in my house. That's me kind of bobbing there with my helmet. And these are all the different tunnels that I've kind of dug and different places I've explored on this map. Black sections are obviously places I've never been. So we're going to go all the way over here.
This looks like more than several hours worth of work, Logan. I think you're being modest.
I take my job seriously. So basically you can see it. The world's on this one, you end with the ocean. So there's the ocean on the far right. that was part of the fun that we had with one of the trailers. People went nuts when they discovered there's an orca in the ocean. So it's just one of the enemies that's in that environment. So we've got, in this particular map, I've got oceans, I've got deserts, I've got forests, I've got jungle. You know, it's just tons of different environments, and this is all the different places I've explored. And so going back to the bosses that you decide if you want to go and engage, all the way on the end of this map, you can see right here, this blue section.
Yeah.
This is called a dungeon. And you
okay.
can go into the dungeon. You can decide to face the boss that's at the end of it. And so for this particular map, I didn't go into the dungeon. I was mainly focused on crafting and building my house and facing the different enemies in those different environments.
So the dungeon's going to be the place you can choose to go there, and that's, you know, fighting the enemies in there, I suspect, is going to get you items and those better, higher reward things
Correct.
that you're after.
The more you do, the better the rewards.
Okay.
So you explore more environments in harder to reach places. You're going to find some cool things in chests, and you know, by killing some enemies, they're going to drop certain things.
Yep.
It's very dependent on how, to the level that you want to engage the game, it's going to return it. So you put a lot of effort, it's going to give you a lot in return. So like I said, you know, that tunnel was all the way to hell. You can see right here. I lined it with torches, so when we're going down, I'll let you do it. You can go all the way and just follow the torches down. But it goes all the way down here, and you can keep going. You can see the lava right there.
Goodness.
So down here in hell, there's structures. There's enemies that live in it. There's enemies that throw flames, and you know, of course, if you touch the lava, it burns you. There's a potion to prevent that. There's all these different types of ways to do individual environments. So I'll get out of the map here. So do you want to take controls?
Sure, let's
All
give
right.
it a go here. I'll embarrass myself on video.
Don't worry about
having
it.
never picked up this game once ever until just now.
So I dug this tunnel. If you fall too far, you're going to get wounded, so be careful.
Fair enough.
I lined the path that you should take with torches just so it's easier to find hell. If not, basically, we'll dig a new tunnel. It's up to you.
Yeah, if you can't find it, just dig something new.
Exactly. So if you look right here, there's a couple different items. You've got some copper there that's glowing. You can mine those different things. I put some rocket boots on that character, so
Nice.
if you jump, you can fly around a little bit. But you can see as you go down, the background starts to change a little bit. So we went from normal dirt to a little bit more underground. There's some red slime.
I just threw a potion. I didn't want to do that.
Just press the bumper because you can see you've got the potion selected.
Yes, we'll get
So
to the
there you go.
fiery greatsword.
That works for me. So you just use the
Or
right trigger to
perhaps
attack.
well, yeah, let's go. We'll go. I imagine fire's not going to fight fire too well.
So, if
I
you
threw it.
If you push in on the right stick, it switches back to that automatic mode. And then when you're down there with him, just use the right trigger to start chopping at him.
There we go. Let's do this.
And since you selected the wood axe, you're also going to collect the wood
Taking the
that's
floor
nearby.
out with me.
And that's fine. So basically, you can see I didn't actually build this underground. This came with the map. You run into these rooms that have gold chests, and if you want to absorb that shine potion, so press the right bumper to go over to that shine. And then do the right trigger. It makes your character glow. So you can see the environment a little bit better. And if you don't have any shine potion, you can do the torches. And you've got 70 torches there. And you can see on the bottom there's the different controls. There's, you know, Y for inventory, the action. There's tons of chests throughout the world. You find pretty cool things in them usually. Some inventory items, some ingredients for different types of things. So this glow world right here, they've got some little cave bats that like to bite you.
So if I were, maybe if I wanted to sort of play a dwarf character, could I build a house down here?
You can build shelters almost anywhere. Basically,
Oh dear.
with the shelters, you build the walls to keep everyone out. You build a door that locks. Most people like to do it above ground. And then they will build a shelter to protect them from certain enemies down below.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's because it's safer above ground.
Correct,
yes.
correct. And when you're down below, when we get down to hell, I built a little structure so you can see how I built it as a ladder so that you can get down to the correct section without being attacked by
We've
a
been
fiery
falling for a while, and we still haven't reached hell, by the way.
I showed you that map. It's all the way down there. So you can keep going. You're still in the glow world. You'll start to see lava when you get close. Just keep following those torches. But you can see, like, there's a statue right there. You can use a hammer to collect that statue, take it back to your house, put it in a a trophy room if you wanted to build one. I've got a couple. You have to use a hammer, and I don't have it in that select inventory. So it's fine if you wanted to pull it out.
We'll
you can.
move on.
Yeah, it's in the inventory, so you can select what's on that, what's going to show up on that bar. So
we have lava.
Yep, and basically you can see there's actually a level of obsidian that I placed on the top. You pour water on the lava to make obsidian, and that just adds a little protective layer so you don't fall in and die.
Okay.
But yet you just ran into one of the enemies in this environment, but we're not quite in hell yet.
We'll get down to hell. We'll take a look at it, and then we'll close up here. We're just giving everybody an idea of the massive scale of this. It's crazy.
It's very big, and you can dig the tunnels any way you want. Some tunnels exist.
So I can carve my name into the
correct. You can carve it, and then when you go above ground, you can take the minerals, the items you collected. And you just fell in. See, your health's kind of falling apart. You shouldn't have fallen in the lava there.
No, that was not a smart career move on my part.
There you go. So you can press down to drop through that wood plank. So this is the kind of area I built just to protect from flying fire. But the bone serpents, unfortunately, are able to go through it. So see that hellbat's having a little trouble getting to you.
Good. Stay away from me.
Yep. But now that you're going to be getting down there, there's going to be some enemies that's going to come for you. So just be on the lookout. So you are technically in hell right now. And
I'll say.
Yeah, if you want, we can actually spawn one of the main bosses there. It's called the Wall of Flesh. And chances are you're not going to be able to survive it.
My heart says no, but for video purposes, I think our viewers want to see it.
Okay, so basically what you should do is, let's see, you might want to kill those guys so you can do it without dying. Okay, so press Y. And press the bumper, let's see, the bumper. A couple times.
Oh, the bumper. Okay.
Yeah, one more time. There you go. So what you have on the right, see those 3 dolls?
Yes.
What you want to do is press A on one.
Okay.
Go up one. Press A. There you go. So basically now if you press B, you place that character in your main inventory.
So the top row of your inventory is the quick select. There.
Correct. So if you want, go ahead and jump out of this dungeon. So go all the way to the top. Use your rocket boots. There you go. And then what we're going to do is that's a voodoo doll, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw that voodoo doll in the lava.
Oh, good.
And
so continue on out of here?
So press B. And that's going to open the doors. You can press B on that one, too.
Oh.
And you go down a little bit. There's another door there. Okay, so jump down and try and avoid landing in the lava.
Burning. It burns.
Jump out. There you go. Let's hope you don't die. You might die.
I'm extremely close to death.
Oh,
it's not looking good
died.
for me.
Okay, so let's see. It's going to spawn you back at the heart. So unfortunately, we just missed that opportunity. But that gives you that shows you how difficult it can be. So basically, if you find a lava pit, you throw that voodoo doll into the lava pit, and it spawns this massive wall enemy that grabs you and fights you, and it's a big deal. So
you will have to play Terraria for yourself on Xbox Live Arcade or PSN coming up. Sometime in the next couple months or springtime. Is there a release window that we can look forward to?
Oh, we're looking at between, let's say, late February to early March.
Fair enough. Logan, thank you very much. The game is Terraria, and for more on Terraria, you're already in the right place. It's IGN.